Welcome in on a Friday. It is July the 7th, and we are glad to be along with you. Chase Robinson here, and we're getting ready to wrap up a week. It's always weird when you have a holiday in the middle of the week. You don't even know what day it is, but it is Friday, and we've got a lot to get to as we head into the weekend. So sit back and enjoy as we bring you another edition of Southern Sports Now. Go ahead and share it with your friends. If you're on Facebook, hit that share button, and let's spread the word about Southern Sports Now. Also, we're on YouTube. You can subscribe to our page there, share the link there with your friends on the East Alabama Now YouTube channel. But that's where you can watch us, on the East Alabama Now Facebook page and on the East Alabama Now YouTube channel. We're also on Twitter at EAN_sports, and that's how you can check us out. And again, spread the word, share it with your friends, and let's get the word out about Southern Sports Now. We bring you the best sports content each and every day here to East Alabama. Let's count you down to football season, because we are inching our way closer and closer. Look at that right there. 50 days away from the college football season for 2023. August 26th will be week 0 of the college football season, and Jacksonville State will take the field that day to start the year off, their first year in the FBS, as Jax State will take on UTEP there at 4:30, Burgess Snowfield on August the 26th. But we are 50 days away from kicking off the college football season, which means we are 48 days away from kicking off the high school football season. August 24th is week 0 of the high school football season. So we are 48 days away from that Thursday night kicking it off, 49 days away for the teams that begin on that Friday night, but under 50 days to a high school football season for 2023. And let me just tell you, it will be here before we know it. We'll have a busy July, media days later this month for high school and college, and it will be here before we know it. But so excited for football season to see these guys back out on the field. We'll get to our mailbag in just a little bit, of course, but got to talk some Braves baseball real quick, as the Braves going into the final series before the All-Star break. Yeah, the Braves and the Rays. We're talking about the two best teams in baseball right now playing each other. And the Rays, of course, a team that's been known for their pitching in the past. I think we could say, though, this year they're kind of known for their offense. And so the Braves and Rays, we got two of, again, the best. The Rays come in atop the AL East by a 4-game lead. They have a 57-33 record. And so going against the Braves, who have also won around the same amount of games, and they do have an 8.5 game lead, though, on the NL East. But the two East leaders going at it tonight. This is going to be a huge series, kind of a momentum series, if you will, going into the All-Star break, and for the guys get about a week off. And so excited for this series. This is a kind of a cool way to end the first half of the season, if you will, of being able to see these two really good baseball teams going at it. It's not often we see the Rays in the position they are right now of leading their division, but they are, and excited to see that series. Charlie Morton will be up tonight as they take the field against the Rays. And so we'll see Charlie Morton in Game 1, and should be a fascinating series with the two best teams in baseball going at it. Should be a lot of fun. We'll jump to a break. We're going to dive into the mailbag as we do each and every Friday. We're going to do that when we come back. More Southern Sports Now in a moment. You stick around.
Here at Ted's, we are excited to now be offering custom-made cabinets. With that in mind, we're changing our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond is going to encompass everything that we offer in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welber Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
EAN Sports is proud to bring you the best, most informative local sports content, and we want your help to be able to do that. If you have a story idea, a tip for our sportscast, or even a highlight clip you want to see on EAN Local Sports, send us an email, eansports23@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter at EAN_sports, or you can send it to the EAN News Facebook page. EAN Sports, bringing you the local sports happening in your community.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
You see some interesting weather phenomenon in your backyard here in East Alabama, send that to us. We would love to hear from you. Send that to us at the email address you see on your screen or through Facebook at EAN News.
Ted's Floors and Beyond brings you Southern Sports Now. We're so glad for their partnership. They actually have a new partnership themselves, and that's with Welburn Cabinet, as they are now able to offer you a complete kitchen or bath makeover. That includes cabinets, countertops, flooring, backsplashes, and tile showers. So they could do it all for you there at Ted's. And, of course, they have all of your flooring needs as well. They've got hardwood, laminate, carpet, tile, and luxury vinyl. Lifetime warranty on flooring installation. Look, they offer 0% interest financing for 12 months and free in-home estimates. They're locally owned and operated. You can go by them, see them in their store right off of Highway 431 in Anniston, right before Sachs Elementary School, or visit them online, shopteds.com. But they are the place to go now, not only for your flooring needs, but for a kitchen or bath makeover. So go by and see Ted's Floors and Beyond and visit them online, shopteds.com. We are back here on Southern Sports Now, and it is time to dive into our mailbag. Yes, we do that each and every Friday. And you can send us questions all throughout the week, and we'll get to them on Friday. You can email us, send us a message on Facebook, Twitter, however it is you want to get the question to us. We will answer it for you every Friday. We got 3 really good questions today. And the first one, who has been the best offensive player for the Braves in the first half of the season? This is a really good question. This is a really hard question to answer. As I've been thinking about it today when I got the question. I think a lot of people would say Ronald Acuna, and he has been a very crucial part of this offense, as he always is, and you could definitely say him. But I think the most consistent guy this year hitting has been Sean Murphy, kind of the new kid on the block for the Braves. I really like the way he's hitting. He's been consistent. Matt Olson has been as well, but when you look at kind of the numbers for Sean Murphy, 69 hits this year. He's had 50 RBIs. He has had 15 home runs. Let's see. He scored 40 runs in his 226 at-bats. He's only struck out 59 times this year. He's averaging 305. I mean, his numbers are really good right now. So I could say that he is the most consistent guy. He hasn't really found a slump yet, and that very well could happen through the remainder of the year. But I think it's some of these other guys who are hitting really good right now, well, they've gone through kind of a slump at parts of the season. But I think Sean Murphy, when he's been in the game, he has been a crucial part of this Braves offense. I really like him. I liked the Braves picking him up in the offseason. I wasn't sure how he was going to be. You know, he's a guy we didn't really know coming from the Oakland Athletics, but he has fit in really well with the Braves organization. And I would say that he is the best offensive player for the Braves in the first half of the season. We'll see if who we will say coming up maybe September, early October, who will be the best offensive player in the second half of the season. But as we head into the All-Star break, I'm going to say Sean Murphy. Question number 2. This is a college football question. Who is your preseason favorite to win the Heisman? This is a good question. And I think you got to start with last year's winner in Caleb Williams, USC quarterback. He put up terrific numbers last year. He's playing against, obviously, some teams out in the Pac-12 who don't have fantastic defenses. And so his numbers are going to be really good. You know, if he's playing an SEC schedule, it may not be quite as good, but he has really good numbers. He is a really good quarterback. He moves so well. He's got a fantastic arm. He's got good receivers around him. Lincoln Riley has put a good skill players around him to help him, and that certainly helped Caleb Williams last year. But I think you got to start with him. Could he repeat? We'll have to see. But behind him, I say Michael Penix of Washington. He's another really good quarterback that you may be thinking from Washington. No, be on the lookout for Michael Penix this year. And also Jordan Travis of FSU, Florida State. I think he has the capability because of the pieces Norvell has put around him. I think he also has a case. And then looking at the SEC, maybe if LSU has a season everybody thinks they could have, Jaden Daniels definitely could be a Heisman candidate. He is a fantastic quarterback. We saw what he was able to do last year, and especially against some really good teams last year. So he possibly could be a guy that could be a Heisman favorite. But I think it starts with last year's winner, Caleb Williams. Can he repeat? That's really hard to do. We don't see that, but he definitely could with the skill he has. And, he's not everybody's favorite player, but you can't look past the skill and the talent of him as a quarterback. So I think he's where you start, but I'd say Michael Penix, Jordan Travis, and Jaden Daniels, all really, really good quarterbacks. And I think this could be another year where a quarterback wins it because of the amount of talent at the quarterback position. So appreciate the question there. Really good question there on who my preseason favorite to win Heisman. Here's a really good question that came in to us today as well. Will the college football playoff expansion create more parity in football like in the NCAA basketball tournament? So you think about the NCAA basketball tournament, 64 teams playing. Most of the time, kind of the better teams don't always win. They get put out early. There's upsets. There's a lot of parity in the NCAA basketball tournament. Whoever usually you have picked to win in your bracket most of the time doesn't make it there, with a few exceptions, but a lot of the really good teams get put out. So will a 12-team playoff have that much parity in college football? I think it will bring parity for sure, and there's several reasons. I think one is there's going to be more games played, and anytime there's more games played, I think there's a chance to see some upsets. These athletes are not going to be used to playing the amount of games that they're about to play. How will they handle that? Will teams peak at the end of the season? Will you have injuries that kind of bring teams down? I think that could help the case of some teams that maybe be at the bottom half of the bracket, beat some teams at the top half of the bracket, just because we're in territory that we're not used to. These athletes are not used to playing the number of games that they are about to play. Can they sustain, 2-3 more games? We'll just have to see. I think that could bring some parity. I think that teams winning conferences that, maybe weaker conferences, but are a really good football team that people may kind of discount. They may end up as maybe an 8, 9, 10 seed. I think they could go in and beat one of the top seeds. I think having more teams, having the opportunity to bring in teams that we're not used to seeing, matchups we're not used to seeing, coaches going head-to-head that we're not used to seeing, I think that can cause and bring in some parity to college football. I really do. And I think that was part of the reason of expanding the playoff to 12 teams. Obviously, we're not going to get the 64 teams like we do in basketball. That would be virtually impossible in football. But I think adding more teams, anytime you widen the field in any sport, you're going to see more parity. You're going to see upsets. You're going to see teams, making a run. I think of college baseball for an example. You had a team like Oral Roberts or TCU this year that may have came in kind of behind, but were able to win some games. They weren't the favorite, but they're a really good team, and they made it there and were able to win some games. So I think, and that brings up another point. I mean, if you get there, if you get to the playoff, then one, that shows what kind of team you are, but two, it's kind of like starting over. you got an edge now. No pressure. You're there to win. And so I think that can definitely help some teams. But really good question there. And I do think it will bring parity with the expansion of the college football playoff. Maybe not to the extent of basketball, but I do think it will bring definitely more parity to the sport. Great question there. Appreciate all the questions in the Southern Sports Now mailbag. Here's how you can submit questions to us each week. Again, we open this up on Fridays. You can email us, eansports23@gmail.com. You can send us a Facebook message on our East Alabama Now Facebook page, or shoot us a message there on Twitter at EAN_sports. So you can send us questions, and we open up the mailbag again every Friday here on Southern Sports Now. We will jump to a break. We'll talk college football next. We are 50 days away. We'll dive into that coming up.
Here at Ted's, we are excited to now be offering custom-made cabinets. With that in mind, we're changing our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond is going to encompass everything that we offer in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welber Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
East Alabama Now Local News has been bringing you the best local news coverage for 6 months. And now we're growing.
EAN News will be available to you 5 nights a week with new faces, new content, and coverage that is second to none.
We'll be bringing you the weather that matters to your neighborhood and to you. Rain or shine, you'll be in the know.
Sports always brings communities together, and EAN Sports will have coverage of all of our area events.
East Alabama Now, local news, new faces, same great coverage. Starting 5 days a week, May 1st. EAN Local News, your news on your schedule.
We continue here on Southern Sports Now. I'm Chase Robinson. Thanks for hanging out with us as we're talking all things sports here on this show. And as we told you at the top of the program, we are 50 days away from the college football season. That is from week 0, August the 26th. But 50 days away from college football kicking off, being on your TV screens, and we are so excited about that. But as we're 50 days away, got a couple of topics I want to discuss, and the first one being the Jacksonville State Gamecocks. They are exactly 50 days away from kicking off as they'll play a week 0 game against UTEP there at Burgess Snow Field, 4:30 on that week 0 kickoff. But what are realistic expectations for Jax State heading into this year as we sit 50 days away? You're moving into the FBS. You're playing teams you're not familiar with. What does this year hold? I think realistically, when you look at expectations, I don't think you should go in, automatically thinking Jacksonville State's going to win the Conference USA, get a bowl game, whatever. It's going to be a process. And so, Jax State fans, let's put our feet on the brakes here, and let's realize that this is going to be a process. You're playing teams. Some of these have been in FBS. Some have moved up with you in this process. But most of the teams have been playing FBS football, which means They've got more guys on the team. They've had more scholarships. They're going to be a little bigger, faster, stronger. They've had more resources. And so I think we got to realistically look at this. A 7-win season this year for Jacksonville State would be huge. That would be a huge, really good year for Jacksonville State if they're able to get 7 wins. I'm leaning towards more of probably the 5-6 win season for Jacksonville State. I think that's realistic when you look up and down the schedule. I mean, they've got some tough teams on the schedule. I mean, obviously, South Carolina, you go to an SEC school, South Carolina's Williams-Brice Stadium is a tough place to play, so Jacksonville State will have to go there. You go to Coastal Carolina, who's definitely come on as a really good mid-major program and one that's played in some really good bowl games in the last 5 years or so, and so that will be a tough one to play. You got Sam Houston State. Liberty has of course, Hugh Freeze has been there the last few years. They've got a lot of resources there, and so you're looking at some teams, and JSU kind of got a taste of this last year when they went on the road to Tulsa and played a really good Tulsa team. They lost that game on the road. They lost to Southeast Louisiana at home last year. Those were the 2 FBS games and the 2 losses for Jacksonville State. So I think going into the season, you have to have realistic expectations on what the Gamecocks can do. Again, 5-6 wins, I think that's very possible for this team. But I think it's good to be patient. They've got a really good coaching staff in place with Rich Rod leading that. He's coached years in the FBS. He's never led a program from FCS to FBS, but he has a ton of experience coaching. You think back to his West Virginia days and his Michigan days, and his Arizona days. Like he is a very successful college football coach, and he's bringing that to Jacksonville State. He knows what it takes to win on that level, on the biggest levels. And so trust the process with Rich Rod and company there as they make the move up. But the Gamecocks are going to have all those scholarships now and more guys on the sideline and the resources they need. You just have to build that up, and it's going to be a process. But I'm excited to see what the Gamecocks can do this year. But those are just some realistic expectations. I'm thinking more of a 5-6 win year. I hope they surprise me and win every game. I really do. But I think it's important to look realistically when you move from FCS to FBS. It's kind of a different game. You're playing with the big boys now, and that is exciting for Jacksonville State. Another topic I want to hit on as we are 50 days away from college football. There's some excitement, folks, down on the plains. Auburn sells out of their public allotment of season tickets. This has never happened. And it has happened down in Auburn because people are excited about what Hugh Freeze is bringing to the program. There was not a lot of excitement last year. I was at the Auburn-Missouri game, and that was early in the season, maybe week 3 or 4. It was the first SEC game for both of those teams. And I was shocked when I came in the stadium, and it was kickoff. I was shocked at the amount of people that were not there. A lot of empty seats. And that was pretty typical for Auburn games last year in Jordan-Hare Stadium. There just weren't a lot of people. There was not a lot of excitement. But I'm telling you, Auburn nailed it with a hire of Hugh Freeze. People are excited. They're excited about the players he has brought in, and they have sold out of season tickets. I mean, that says a lot about where Auburn football is right now and kind of the change in culture that Hugh Freeze has brought. He's got people excited. Jordan-Hare Stadium is one of the toughest places to play in college football, hands down. One of the toughest places to play. But in order for it to be that way, there's got to be fans in the stands. And so that just shows that people are believing in where Auburn football is headed. They're believing in Hugh Freeze and the message that he's brought so far. Of course, we'll see on the field in a little over a month. But right now, the Auburn fans are excited, and I believe they have a lot to be excited about. They've got a good quarterback that's coming in. They've got good skill guys. Auburn's going to win some games this year, and I think it's going to be polar opposite of what we've seen the last 2 years coming up, even in this first year under Hugh Freeze. Now, it's going to take some time to learn and grow under him. Obviously, always does under new coach. But I think there's a lot to be excited about for Auburn, and obviously the Auburn fans are excited as they have sold out of season tickets. So Auburn fans, buckle up. The Hugh Freeze era begins in the first weekend of September, and I think it's going to be a good thing for the Auburn Tigers, as I know Auburn fans, you all are very excited. So we are 50 days away from college football as we will continue to count you down. But, man, we are excited for toe-to-hit leather coming up in 50 days. We'll jump to a break. We'll come back, hit on a little more baseball here on this Friday afternoon. Stick around. More Southern Sports Now in a moment.
Here at Ted's, we are excited to now be offering custom-made cabinets. With that in mind, we're changing our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond is going to encompass everything that we offer in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welber Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
Hi, I'm Dr. Rodney Sneed from both CARES and Direct Primary Care. Direct Primary Care is an exciting new model of medical care growing on both the East and West Coast. It's been recommended by Forbes and the American Academy of Family Physicians and others for individuals or small businesses with or without health insurance. The pure simplicity of a membership model streamlines the burden of medical care. It eliminates 60% of the overhead. That streamlining allows providers time to focus on patients with free, no copay, no deductible, unhurried office visits or telehealth visits with minimal waiting room time. It produces same or next day appointments and access by text or telephone during and after hours. It saves you from leaving work, wasting time and getting exposed in a waiting room, and the convenience and cost with barriers removed helps one avoid letting problems like a sore throat turn into an expensive ER or hospital visit for pneumonia. If you're interested, search the web for CARES Direct Primary Care.
We're back here on Southern Sports Now as we get ready to head into the weekend here on this Friday. And it's the last weekend before the All-Star break. So lots of baseball being played, and then the guys will have a little break, except for those in the All-Star game, which 8 Braves are playing in the All-Star game. Home Run Derby on Monday night, and that's what I want to talk about right now. Look at the bracket as it has been released by Major League Baseball for the Home Run Derby. So there you see it. Lewis Robert Jr. will take on Adley Rutschman to start things off. Now, Robert Jr. from the White Sox has had 25 home runs this year, and Rutschman of the Orioles has had 11. His longest has been 424 feet. So that should be a good matchup. Then you got Pete Alonso from the Mets. He's had 25 home runs, 448 feet being his longest. Then you got Julio Rodriguez of the Mariners. He's hit 13 home runs, and 454 feet has been his longest this season. Mookie Betts of the Dodgers will take on Vladimir Guerrero Jr. 23 home runs for Mookie Betts this season, 13 for Guerrero. And then Adolis Garcia will take on Randy Orozco. He's had 16, and Garcia with 21. 432 is the longest for Garcia. So that's the bracket for the Home Run Derby. That's a really good field, and some guys who've been hitting some long bombs this year, but always is fun watching the Home Run Derby. And the All-Star game Tuesday night, we'll have our eyes on that with all the Braves guys playing. But certainly excited to see the Home Run Derby coming up next week. Hard to believe we're already at the midway point of the season with the All-Star break. Braves-Rays this weekend, and we'll have our eyes on that. Two of the best teams in baseball right now playing each other. But certainly should be fun to see that, as well as that home run derby coming up on Monday night. But a lot to watch this weekend, but lots of baseball, of course, as well. We're up against the weekend, and it's time for us to get on out of here. So hope you have a fantastic weekend. We will be back with you on Monday on the East Alabama Now Facebook page, on the East Alabama Now YouTube channel. And you can go back and watch any of our previous shows, and be sure to catch us each weekday here on East Alabama Now. That'll do it for this Friday edition. We will talk to you on Monday. Have a great weekend.